The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. Jump on the road to wealth that ignites dreams and creates millions young, not old. Hit the fast lane. Crack the code to wealth and discover how to live rich for a lifetime. Most of us grow up hearing the same advice about money. Work hard, save 10% of your paycheck, invest for the long run, and one day, maybe, you'll retire with enough to live comfortably. The problem? That path often takes 40 years or more. By the time you get wealthy, you may not have the health, energy, or freedom left to enjoy it. In the Millionaire Fastlane, MJ DeMarco argues that financial freedom doesn't have to take a lifetime. He breaks down why traditional financial advice keeps most people stuck and lays out a different path, the fast lane. Let's dive in. MJ DeMarco explains that people fall into one of three financial lanes: the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane. Each lane reflects a mindset about money and determines the actions you take. The road you choose defines your financial future. Only one of them leads to early freedom. The other two lead to disappointment. Let's discuss each lane in detail. The sidewalk is the road of instant gratification. Sidewalkers spend nearly everything they earn, and sometimes more. They live paycheck to paycheck, trapped in debt, with no clear plan for the future. This isn't limited to low-income earners. Even high-paid athletes, doctors, and lawyers can live on the sidewalk if they spend as fast as they earn. The sidewalk is about chasing faux wealth, flashy cars, designer clothes, and status symbols that create the illusion of success but lead to financial ruin. Except for very few people, i.e., the lottery winners, wealth is not an event, but a process. People focus on events, like selling their company or winning a big contract. The real story is not the events, but the process and hard work that made those events possible. If you skip the process, you won't get the events. The slow lane is what most financial gurus recommend. Watch out for financial gurus. They rarely get rich following the advice they give out. They get rich by writing books, giving seminars, and selling products or services. The slow lane is a path of budgeting carefully, saving a percentage of your income, and investing steadily in mutual funds or retirement accounts. Some of these strategies are useful. It's not bad to look for deals or to have a budget, but the problem lies in these strategies being the entire plan, instead of being part of a bigger plan. It's safe, predictable, and based on the idea that compound interest will eventually make you wealthy. Unfortunately, the math works, but the timeline doesn't. When you see charts that show that investing $10,000 will yield you $2.5 million in 40 years, that seems great. What is less obvious is that your investment is $160,000 in 20 years and $600,000 in 30 years. The real power of compound growth shows up decades later, often when people are too old to fully enjoy it. And along the way, slow laners are trading their time for money. They sell their Monday through Friday so that they can enjoy Saturday and Sunday. Slow laners rely on promotions, raises, and small investment gains while hoping nothing derails their progress. A bad market, unexpected expenses, or job loss can set them back years. The slow lane offers stability, but it rarely delivers freedom early enough to matter. Slow laners cling to jobs that feel secure. In general, jobs suck because you have limited control. Being 50% more productive will not get you a 50% raise. What if you're fired? What if your company is doing poorly and forces you to take a pay cut? With a job, you're selling your time and your life for money. The experience you gain is limited. You'll learn much more running your own business for a month than working for someone else for a year. You're subject to the whims of your employer. You have to deal with office politics, and the problem with the slow lane is you have uncontrolled, limited leverage. This means you have limited control over your income. You have less opportunities for huge wealth accumulation in comparison to running your own business. Then there's the fast lane. Fast laners focus on building wealth through systems that can scale quickly. The fast lane is all about controllable, unlimited leverage, which means maximum control over your success. You want your success to be scalable so that you can get 100% return or 1,000% return. The Fastlane road is all about business, self-employment, and entrepreneurship. The key to Fastlane is producing instead of consuming. Don't be the guy who buys a franchise. Be the guy who sells franchises. Don't be the one buying products you see on late-night info commercials. Be the one selling them. Fastlaners may use debt wisely as a tool for growing their systems, time as their most important asset, and making something of value as their primary means of wealth accumulation. Instead of relying on 8% yearly returns, Fastlaners build enterprises that can double or triple their income in a short period. They still work hard, but their effort compounds in a different way, through leverage, automation, and scale. A few examples of Fastlane projects. Write a book, lots of work, but then it makes money forever without you having to put in more work. Make an invention. Once again, lots of work, but then you get royalties for a long time. Fastlaners don't wait for wealth at the end of their life. They design systems that allow them to create it within a decade. DeMarco argues that the Slowlane is flawed for 3 main reasons. Number 1, time doesn't scale. No matter how skilled you are, you only have so many hours in a day. If your income depends on your presence, whether as a lawyer, doctor, or employee, you can't multiply yourself beyond that limit. Number 2, compound interest is too slow. Yes, investing works, but the exponential growth really kicks in late in life. By then, health and freedom may be harder to come by. Number 3, control is an illusion. Slowlaners hand over their financial future to employers, markets, and governments. They hope things work out, but don't actually control the outcomes. Slowlaners buy depreciating assets, like cars and electronics. Fastlaners buy appreciating assets, like patents, businesses, and cash flows. Slowlaners use their house as part of their net worth. Fastlaners use their house for residency. Slowlaners trade decades of time for the possibility of freedom later, freedom that may never come. Fastlaners think and act differently. They build systems that let them break free of the time for money trap. This doesn't mean avoiding work, but it does mean being resourceful, optimizing, and automating relentlessly. Let's say you have to build a pyramid out of heavy stones. The Slowlane approach is to carry the stones yourself, one at a time. Of course, this will take decades. The Fastlane approach would be to spend the first few years designing something to move the stones for you. A crane, a pulley system, whatever. After your upfront investment of the thought and effort, the pyramid will be easy to build once you have your machine. Also, instead of relying on someone else's business for a paycheck, Fastlaners create their own. They focus on dramatically growing their income while controlling expenses. For example, your income triples while your expenses go up 10%. A Fastlane business is like a machine. You put in work up front, but once it's built, it can run and grow without requiring constant effort and attention from you. It's not about luck or gambling. It's about designing scalable value. To guide this process, DeMarco introduces 5 principles he calls the 5 Fastlane Commandments, with the acronym CENTS. They are control, entry, need, time, and scale. These rules help determine whether an idea or business has true Fastlane potential. The commandment of control. True wealth requires control. If your business depends entirely on someone else's platform, employer, or rules, you don't own it. If your entire income relies on one social media channel, a single algorithm change could wipe you out. Fastlaners build systems they own and control. The commandment of entry. The harder it is to enter a market, the more protection you have once inside. If anyone can start the same business overnight, competition drives down profits. High barriers, like specialized knowledge, significant capital, or unique skills, create defensibility and long-term value. Copycats are blocked by difficulty, and when the barrier to have the same success is high, people give up and find something easier to do. The commandment of need. Fastlaners focus on solving real problems. Businesses built around genuine needs attract paying customers because they offer clear value. Chasing passion alone can be risky if no one else values it. But solving painful problems, saving people time, money, or frustration, creates reliable demand. The commandment of time. The best businesses can operate without constant involvement from their founders. If your business stops making money the moment you stop working, you don't own a business, you own a job. Fastlaners design systems that keep running even when they step away. Time is your most valuable resource. Fastlaners focus on high-leverage actions that multiply their effort, allowing them to scale their impact. The commandment of scale. Wealth grows with scale. Serving 100 people limits your upside. Serving 100,000 or 1 million creates massive opportunity. Technology, like the internet and social media, allows reach far beyond one person. This doesn't mean every business must be global, but the ability to reach a wide market separates fastlane businesses from those that can only ever stay small. Fastlaners create products and services that can scale, like ebooks, courses, software, etc. DeMarco describes Fastlane businesses as money trees, assets that continue producing income long after the initial work is done. Examples include content like books, courses, or videos that can be sold repeatedly, software that scales globally with minimal additional cost, real estate that generates rental income, platforms that connect buyers and sellers, earning revenue from transactions. Money trees let you escape the cycle of trading time for money. Once planted, they grow and keep paying dividends. The best money tree is actually money itself. When you have money, you can move from borrowing to lending, from customer to owner. At the core of the fast lane is what DeMarco calls the law of effection. The more lives you impact, and the greater the impact, the more wealth you create. The two levers you control are magnitude and scale. You can change a few lives in a profound way, or you can impact millions in a smaller way. But both paths unlock immense wealth. This principle explains why entrepreneurs who solve large, pressing problems, whether through technology, services, or products, achieve outsized success. Fastlaners value time over money. Money can be regained, but time cannot. Fastlaners invest in systems, tools, and skills that give them leverage over time. They embrace accountability. Mistakes aren't excuses. They're lessons. Fastlaners are accountable and responsible. Being responsible is admitting when you're at fault for something. Being accountable is changing your behavior so that it doesn't happen again. They pursue education strategically, not degrees for prestige, but learning that directly improves their ability to create, scale, and manage systems. They focus on action. Ideas don't create wealth. Execution does. Fastlaners act today, not someday. Above all, Fastlaners see wealth not just as money, but as freedom. The freedom to live life on their own terms. The Millionaire Fastlane challenges the idea that financial success has to be slow, steady, and decades away. The Sidewalk promises instant pleasure, but leads to financial ruin. The Slowlane promises stability, but often delivers too little, too late. The Fastlane focuses on creating scalable systems that solve real problems and generate wealth quickly. The path isn't easy. It takes effort, creativity, and risk. But for those who choose it, the reward is freedom within years instead of lifetimes. DeMarco's message is clear. Stop trading time for money. Start building systems today that create freedom tomorrow. Because wealth isn't about someday. It's about designing a life you can live fully now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found the video to be helpful.